Welcome back, my fellow photographers. So in my last video 2 weeks ago, I talked about the gear that I take for travel photography, but today I'm going to talk about the gear I take for event or portrait lifestyle photography, which those are pretty similar, but I'm going to talk about each pieces of gear and why I use it in today's video. So make sure you stay to the end and see all of the gear that I use that you can implement in your future photo shoots. So let's head to my photography studio down in my garage and go over each piece of equipment. Let's go. And before we do, again, welcome to Key to the Explorer Photography. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell is free for you to do so. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. Now let's head down to my photography studio. Okay, so now we're down in my photography studio, so I can show you the different gear I have laid out on my table that I use for some different photography setups. So the first thing I'm going to show you that is on the table is a backpack. I tend to switch backpacks out, but I recommend don't carry around with you an actual photography bag because that could signify that you have a camera and people could target you. So I have a bag that is big enough to carry my photography equipment when I go to events or doing lifestyle shoots. And I also use this for other reasons, maybe travel or whatever. And I also have, again, multiple backpacks that I may use just in case this one's in use. But I could put my equipment inside of what I need. I have additional pockets for other things. And I also have this front pocket. I have lip gloss. Have a brace for my hand. If I'm doing something at night, I do have a flashlight in here. I have a case to keep things in if I need it. Have backup batteries, and then a pen as well as business cards. So I keep that all in there for just whatever I need it for. So now let's go through the stuff I may put in my photography bag. So next up, I have cameras. The main camera that I use for my event and lifestyle portrait shoots is this Nikon D850 DSLR. So I use this, the photos come out great. It can connect to my phone. It has a lot of different options and features on it, different modes. Has great ISO. It can get pretty high without it getting too grainy. And so it has some really nice features. And also on the back, it does have a screen here where it can pop out. And so if I need to, for some reason, get up high or shoot, from up high, I can tilt the screen and it can do some things here. And it's really great that I can connect it to my phone. So if I need to, want to show a preview of the photos or send a photo to a client quickly, I can have that ability to do so. And with it connecting to my phone, I also can use my phone as a trigger to the camera. So like when I did a family photo over Christmas, I could connect this so I could actually be in the photo and just have my phone and trigger the photo. It also has a spot at the top, obviously to connect like a flash, off-camera flash and everything. Obviously I have a strap. This is a custom-made strap that I got for Christmas. My sister-in-law gave it to me. It's really cute. It has my name on it and also has a camera on it. So this is cute. But yeah, definitely have to have a camera. It does also have connections, to connect it to a microphone, connect it to a TV, USB, and all of that. So really great features of this camera. But I also have a backup camera. Now this backup camera is a really old Nikon model. I don't like the photos as much, but the photos still come out really nice because if you know how to compose a photo, you know what you're doing, you can still have great photos with an older camera with a different quality. But it doesn't have all the features. The back screen doesn't pop out. It doesn't connect to my phone. So it's definitely not my favorite camera as it is older. It still has features where it can connect to the TV, it can connect to a microphone. But again, it's just older model. It doesn't have all the features I would like for it. So this is a backup camera. I would not have a backup camera for my lifestyle portrait shoots, but when I do an event shoot, especially a major event, if I'm there a long time, I'm gonna have a backup camera just in case for some reason something happens to this main camera. So this is kind of like a security blanket as I might say. Also, if I do have a major event, I may need a second photographer to help me. So that's something to consider and something to plan when you accept a contract. That's a different discussion. We're just talking about gear today. So main camera, D850. Backup camera is the Nikon D3200. Next up, let's talk about the lens that I use. So on both the cameras, you'll see that I have prime lens. A prime lens is a fixed lens. It can't zoom in or out. It's going to stay at the 50 millimeters. So if you need to get up close, I'm going to have to actually physically move my body close or back if I want to go further away. So as you can see, I have the lens here as they are my favorite. It has really great quality photos. This one has not a name brand lens on it, but it still has really good quality as well if I need to use that. So I have two 50 millimeters for both, one for each camera, but I also have a wide angle lens if I, for some reason, specifically like at an event and someone wants to get a group shot and the group is like 100 people, definitely need a wide angle lens to get everyone in the photo. And also a wide angle lens is good for when I'm doing a lifestyle shoot and they want to have a lot of the scenery in the photo. So I'm going to need the wide angle lens to get more space with the photo. So this wide angle lens, it is a Nikon and it goes from 18 to 55 millimeters. So I can also zoom in and out a little bit with this lens. And as you can see, since this lens is not on a camera right now, I do have it protected because you don't want to mess up the lens. You don't want dust getting into it. So as you see, there is a back here. This is the part that actually connects into the camera. So you have a back here to kind of keep it from getting dust on the inside, and then a cap on it at the top. It doesn't get scratched on the actual last part of the lens, and it doesn't get dust. So, and you'll see that there's a cap on these as well, even though they're fixed onto the camera, so the other part is protected. It still has a cap on it to prevent scratching and dust on the actual glass. So I do recommend when you have your camera put away, keep a lens on here. Don't just have your camera sitting out with it open so it doesn't get dusty on the inside. And if you just, for some reason, have to take the lens off, there's usually a cap that comes with the camera where you can put the cap on so it can prevent dust from getting inside. You don't want that. Dust will mess up your photo. Next up, I have a flash, and I have multiple flashes because flashes can go bad. You can get some fairly cheap ones off Amazon. I do have Amazon branded flashes if I need them. And then I have this one. This is actually a Nikon branded speedlight. So it's really nice flash. And it runs off, and that's why I have the backup batteries. It runs off of just 4 AA batteries, so I always make sure I have them. But usually after every shoot, I turn this on, I look and see how much battery life I have left, and I will charge it up. And usually I just go and charge it anyway to make sure it's fully charged. And obviously this part here is where you stick onto the top of the camera, and then there's a lock here to lock it in place so it doesn't slide off. It also have different modes and levels on this part of the flash, so you can adjust it, you know, the brightness and all of that. So that's cool. It also has different modes. So if you want to sync it to a trigger or another flash, that will happen. And it has like a diffuser, which I'll talk about in a moment here. It has its own little attached diffuser on the flash, which will help it not be so harsh. So this is great to have. It also has this thing at the top where you can kind of change the direction of the flash. So it can, obviously it was in this, it was straight. I could press this, I could, you know, go in and out here, or I can go and then I could turn it to the side. So it's not fully straight on. So that is definitely a helpful feature. You use this flash a lot inside, especially with events, so people can be fully lit, or the subject can be fully lit. And sometimes I have to use this when I'm outside, like if I'm in a shaded area or it's really bright in one area and I need to brighten the actual subject. So this was a great thing to have for both lifestyle and event photos. So next up, let's talk batteries. So after every shoot, or I should say before every shoot, I always charge the battery on this camera. This battery on this D850 lasts a very long time, but I always want to make sure it's fully charged. So this is the charger. I will do this usually 2 days before because I like to pack my bag for my photography engagements the night before the shoot so I don't forget anything and I'm not rushing. So this is nice. It charges pretty quickly, and it also, you can change how it plugs into the wall, so it could be straight on, or you can bend it like this depending on how you like to have things set up. And then here's a backup battery for my 3200 as well as a charging port. And if I'm going to be doing a really long shoot, usually for events, this is a backup battery that goes into the D850 here. So you can actually plug in additional batteries. It takes a lot of batteries. It takes 8 AA batteries that goes inside of this. And this actually goes onto the bottom of this camera. So you have to take that little stopper there out and plug this here, and there's a little dowel here to kind of just lock this, screw this in. So now you have extra batteries in it. I don't like to use it as much because now you see it's a really huge camera and that's a lot of weight. So I'd rather just have my battery fully charged or have a backup battery instead of using this, but this is an option if you get into a crunch. So always have extra batteries available and batteries fully charged to use something like this. So with any type of shoot, you are going to want to have memory cards, and you're going to want to have a case to keep the memory cards nice and safe and protected. I have a case here. It takes, the smaller memory cards as well as bigger ones, and I keep them in here. I have some in cameras, but it's either going to be in a camera, my computer, or in here. I usually like to take backup memory cards because memory cards can get corrupted, unfortunately, or they can get full, or if I have multiple shoots in a day, I don't want photos crossing over memory cards. So like if I have a photo shoot with, I don't know, Joe at 9 a.m. and then a photo shoot with, I don't know, Leslie at 12, I want Joe on this memory card and Leslie on this one. It makes it easier for transporting photos back onto my computer and editing at the end of the day, but must have multiple memory cards. So next up, I have diffusers. So I have 2 different types of diffusers. This one I usually have for every single shoot, and this is one that actually attaches to my flash. So I mentioned it earlier, but a diffuser is a piece of equipment that helps soften light, so the light isn't so harsh on a subject. So a flash can be quite harsh at times, especially at certain times of the day if you're outside doing a shoot. So you don't want that on your subject. So this can go over, even though it has its own built-in diffuser, sometimes that's not enough. So I can put this on and then take this little strap here to tighten it up. See, now you see I have this on the flash, and I can still rotate and do whatever I want to change direction of the diffuser. And as you can see, you can still get flash here. So this is flash with the diffuser. This is flash without the diffuser. As you can see, just in this example, the flash is a lot brighter without the diffuser. So that's why you want to use it, so your light isn't so harsh on your subject. But I also have another diffuser, which is really helpful for sun. It can also change the color and everything because I have different types in here. I have gold, I have a silver, platinum one, I have white. And so these different diffusers help again with changing the color of that photo, the tint of that photo, as well as diffusing. So it's helpful for when you're outside and the sun is so harsh, you can block the sun. As you see, it has this color here. It has this gold color, so obviously you're gonna get really goldish reflection on your subject when you use this one. And then on the inside, I'm gonna unzip this and take this out. As you see, this is the plain diffuser. So this is if you just want to modify the sun so it's not so harsh, like how the diffuser on the flash did. This will help the sun not be so harsh, just the plain diffuser. But this is also solid. It's hard to bend it, so that's why we have this, because as you can see, this is just kind of a bag. So you have to put this on something to help it. So when you flip this diffuser inside out, you have other colors, and you can just put this inside of here, and now you have flipped it again and zip it up so it doesn't fall off. And now you have a different diffuser with a different color here. So now you see you have this platinum silver color, and on the back you actually have black. So you can really change the color and tint of a setting with this, or just diffuse the sun so it's not so harsh. So the last thing that I have in my carrying case for my lifestyle and event shoots is filters. So I have a nice pouch here. You want to have them in a safe case because you don't want them to scratch. These filters will actually go on the lens to help with your photos. So in this pouch, I'm gonna open it up. It has 3 filters on the inside here. First thing you see is a microfiber cloth. This will be the cloth. If you ever have to clean your filter, you will use this. So the first filter I have is the UV filter. This filter helps reduce the amount of UV light that comes from the sun and passing over to the camera. So this is definitely great for film photography. It's great for outdoor photography, but it's usually mostly used with film. And it came in the pack, so yes, I have it. But I don't really use this one that much. Next up is the ND filter. So this filter is definitely, and it has some dust. There. But this filter acts like the sunglasses for your camera lens. So you know what sunglasses do for you. You still have light coming in from outside, but it's blocking all of that harsh light. It gives you a little bit of shade, even though you want to be in the sun. So if you have a photo shoot outside, especially when it's really bright outside, like in the harshness of noon, and you have to do, like the person just wanted a photo shoot at noon, this is helpful because it blocks some of that harsh lighting. And all you have to do is just, stick it on top of your lens, and it does its thing from there, okay? And then the last filter I have is a polarizer filter, which is also really beneficial for photography. This filter actually helps reduce sun glare. So again, this is really great for outdoor photography. So it reduces the glare that's coming down from the sun, from all those beams of sunlight. Again, very beneficial if you're taking photos in the bright afternoon, but it also can help if you're at an event where there's like a lot of glass and flash and a lot of things reflecting. This can also help with that too, because it's removing or at least reducing that glare. So another great feature for a photographer. Ooh, I hope you enjoy my photography studio and looking at all of those pieces of equipment that I use during my different events and lifestyle portrait sessions. So if you enjoyed this video and enjoy hearing about the different pieces of equipment, make sure you hit that like button. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. It's free for you to do so and helps me provide more and better content to you in the future. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it, okay? Make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and social media networks. And if you are interested in purchasing a photographic print from me, you can visit cutedexplorer.darkroom.com, which will be linked down below. And if you're interested in booking a photo session with me, you can head on over to cutedexplorer.com/photography. I hope to see you there, and thank you so much for watching. See you later.
No.